Welcome to my channel.
Hello and welcome everyone. I am Suraj Lamichhane, Business Development Manager at Education Tree Global, and I have a very distinguished guest today here with me at the very first episode of our ETG podcast series. So it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Thomas Dunlop, General Manager at Kaplan International Pathways, Australia and New Zealand. Thomas has extensively worked with international students from across the globe. He has been mentoring and guiding students from all around the world to help study in Australia and chase their dreams. Today, in this podcast, we'll be discussing about studying in Australia opportunities at Swinburne University of Technology. We'll discuss about the scholarships, career opportunities, and valuable advice from Mr. Thomas himself. So, hello everyone. I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Thomas here with me. So, it's my pleasure to welcome Tom at our Education Tree Global's Kathmandu head office. We today are going to talk with Tom and gain some experience and his insights for students who want to apply Australia, study there and adapt to a new culture. So, Thomas, I would be very happy if you could introduce yourself to me.
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, for having me. It's always a pleasure to be back in beautiful Nepal, especially Kathmandu. I have a very strong, I don't know why, emotional connection to this beautiful part of the world. My name is Thomas Dunlop, but please call me Tom. All my friends do. And I have been working in international education. You can probably tell by the way that my hair is receding. I've been in this industry for about 15 years. I was an international student myself, and that in turn led me to get into this industry and start meeting future international students and counseling them about options.
That's great to hear, Tom. So what I want to ask you is, what do you enjoy the most while working with international students?
Yeah, I think it's the diversity of experience that they teach me about. I am a fifth, sixth generation white boy from country Australia, and through meeting international students, it really opens my mind and teaches me a lot about the world around us that otherwise I wouldn't know. And that is exactly the contribution that international students make to Australian universities and universities around the world.
That's great. So regarding Swinburne, how would you describe Swinburne in 1 minute if you have to?
Yeah, of course. Swinburne is a young, ambitious, tech-infused university that is focused on graduate outcomes for its students.
Exactly what the students want, right?
I think in 2026, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, in your perspective, what makes Swinburne stand out from all the other competitors in the market?
Yeah, and I think it's probably the most important question you're going to ask me today, because in 2026, looking at 2027, an international student from Nepal that has the finances, has the grades, has the English language capability to go overseas, you can literally go anywhere in the world. The world is your oyster. So why should you choose Swinburne out of all of the universities? Because I think Swinburne is focused on the right things for the future of work. AI is coming for all of our jobs. The way that we are working is changing drastically. Swinburne is focused not just on teaching students how to use the LLMs and all of this other AI technology that we're becoming used to. It's teaching students how to understand applying AI, and I like to call it AI literacy. Right. So it's like being able to see how in a business system setup, how they can apply AI for efficiencies and all of those good things. So I think they're really focused on making sure that students will remain employable and relevant in the future of work.
So how does Swinburne's innovation and industry engagement benefit the students?
Yeah, in so many ways that I will not be able to answer in one short podcast question, but I will try. And that is, I think you first look at when Swinburne was founded, and it has been around in Australia for, I think, since 1908. So it is, as a teaching institution, it's been around for more than 100 years, but as a university, they're still very young. They're younger than 50 years. But since the 1960s, Swinburne has been focused on connecting students with industry and making sure that students were having a work-related experience, what we call work integrated learning, while they were pursuing their Swinburne degree. And that is something that Swinburne is still very proud of to this day. And they are so good at it and they have got such experience at it that they can guarantee every undergraduate student commencing at Swinburne will have the opportunity to access work integrated learning in some way, shape or form. Typically, there's 3 types of work integrated learning. The first is structurally built into the curriculum. It's unpaid, it is credit bearing, and it is typically anywhere from 140 to 150 hours of work experience related to what a student is studying. The second is internship experience. This would be typically taken as what we call an elective. So it is also considered a part of the student's degree program, credit bearing, so it contributes towards the degree, unpaid, unfortunately, but the conversation around internships and paying students for it is an interesting one in Australia. The final one, the most popular one, is what we call a professional year. And so this might be a Bachelor of Engineering or a Bachelor of Computer Science, where an additional 4th year is added. This is paid. And it typically, if a student is successfully placed into a professional year degree at Swinburne, they could earn anywhere from 40,000 to up to 60,000 Australian dollars in that year.
That's great. So when it comes to student experience, students are always enthusiastic to know about how the university is going to support them. So in the first few months of enrollment, how does Swinburne's student support team support the international students?
Yeah, I'll give you a few examples. One is through the wonderful partners like Education Tree Global that we work with around the world. In 2 weeks' time, Swinburne University will be hosting what they call their Agent Week. And within this Agent Week, they invite some of their most trusted partners from around the world to come on campus. And it's in winter, which is strange because winter in Melbourne is probably the worst time of year to visit because it does get a little bit cold. However, it coincides with orientation. So not only are new students commencing at Swinburne and going through the orientation process, but our agent partners who are helping promote the university also get to see what orientation entails. And you can go back home and be a better counsellor and help students prepare. The other thing to look at is how Swinburne incorporates student ambassadors into their orientation schedule and their different ways of engaging with new students. A lot of these are international students. This is part-time work that they get employed to do while they're at Swinburne, and it connects new students with existing students who've been at the university for a semester or 2. So just a couple of examples.
That's great. So moving onwards, what is student life look like at Swinburne?
Well, I mean, whatever your hobbies are, whatever your interests are, if you're into anime, if you're into gaming, if you're into soccer, futsal, whatever it might be, I guarantee you will find a group of like-minded students at Swinburne to explore and develop those interests. And if you can't find them at Swinburne, you will find them in the greater beautiful city that is Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne is home to Swinburne University. It's also home to the most international students in Australia.
Definitely.
It's my hometown. I don't live there. I live in Sydney. Melbourne is the largest city for international students in Australia. And the reason that so many international students choose Melbourne is because of the incredible lifestyle that's available to them. We consider Melbourne to be the cultural capital of Australia. So the arts scene, the food scene, the cafe and coffee scene is incredible. But more importantly, for students, it's also an incredible economy for students to be, engaging with employment for the first time. Really great tech ecosystem. So for students that are, studying IT, engineering, computer science, a really great entrepreneurial environment for students to experience. One of the world's friendliest cities and Australia's most multicultural city.
Definitely. So, in your perspective, how much multicultural is Swinburne?
I love that I just finished the last question with that. That wasn't planned, everyone. I saw the questions for the first time today. I think you just need to be on campus and you will see for yourself very quickly how multicultural the campus is. You will see faces and skin colors from all over the world and those cultures being celebrated actively on campus. You will see it for yourself. It's great.
Sure.
Done a lot of talking today.
So, when it comes to Nepali students, I guess you have definitely worked with a lot of Nepali students and recruited students. So, what strengths do you see for Nepali students that stands out?
Yeah, I think the passion to study is there, and that's a really critical success factor for any international student. You know, don't just choose something that your mum and dad want you to study. You have to choose something that you're passionate about, because pursuing a degree is not an easy task. And so by having that passion attached to what you're studying, it will help you face the challenging task of getting that degree. And I find that Nepalese students, you know, there's a lot of affinity for Australia. They seem to really like Australian culture and the environment that we offer, and all of those good things. And it's nice to see that coming through in the classroom. Don't let one bad day where you might be lonely and missing home and, you know, some home cooked food or whatever it might be, distract you from your longer term goal, which is completing your degree studies in Australia. And then hopefully you have the opportunity to pursue a post-study work visa in Australia as well.
Definitely. So, as we are talking about Nepali students, what do you suggest to Nepali students during their application so things don't go wrong?
Yeah, a few things. Let me split it into like three broad categories if I can. One is the financial aspect.
Definitely.
It is a big investment that your parents are preparing to make, or yourself if you have worked and saved up a bit of money. But it's also a big investment of your time. And so you need to do your research and prepare seriously for the visa application, and particularly the financial component.
Exactly.
Think about the financial component in two phases. The first phase is attached to the visa itself, what you need to pay for the visa application, what you need to have as proof of funds, as evidence of access to those funds. And then the second phase is the longer term view of showing the Australian visa department that you have enough money to support you for your duration of studies. That's one piece. The second piece that's attached to that is all around, in Australia, we talk about this genuine intention. So your genuine research that you have done, like you need to be able to explain why you want to study, what you want to study, what career do you see that leading to in the future, and then linking that degree choice and that future career to, you know, your journey back home in Nepal. So that genuine intention to return to Nepal and begin your journey and your career is very key. And then the third piece is kind of back to my last answer, just around that passion piece. You really need to be clear around what it is that you want to study.
It's all about our passion and the students' passion, to be exact.
And also the genuine intention to study that. Don't go to Australia and then try and jump to another institution. That just won't.
They just need to stick to one, following their goals, right?
Yeah.
So, to grab the maximum amount of scholarships at Swinburne, what do you seek in students beside their academic grades?
Yeah, well, I mean, that is to get the maximum scholarship at Swinburne, it would be a merit scholarship. So that is awarded to students who have extraordinary results, excellent results. And so those scholarships are valued up to 30%. For students. And then outside of that, there's also a pool of scholarships available that are very competitive, very generous, up to 20%.
That sounds amazing. So when should students ideally start their applications when it comes to grabbing scholarships?
Yeah, I think the two go hand in hand, and at the point of application, you will be automatically assessed for scholarships. So really the focus should be on submitting a complete application that has all of the relevant and required documentation, your academics, your English, those visa financials that I mentioned in my earlier answer. And because of the amount of preparation that is required in Australia, that would typically take a normal family anywhere from 6 to 8 months to begin preparing that documentation.
Right, exactly. So we know Swinburne as an IT-focused university. So how is AI changing the way education is provided to students?
Yeah, that's a much bigger question than this podcast will allow. But the first piece to address in that is, yes, Swinburne has technology in the name of the university, and Swinburne was certainly founded as a IT, computer science, engineering focused college, so very STEM focused and very, very excellent in these areas. If you look at the Shanghai Jiaotong rankings that were released in November of last year, Swinburne was ranked top 10 globally for automation and automation control. Excuse me. But outside of that, Swinburne also has a lot of strengths in other areas, in business, in health sciences, design, aviation, a lot of these really excellent careers that students can explore. And back to your question around the AI piece, Swinburne is ensuring that they embed technology and AI literacy into the full scope of courses that they are teaching to students, because I think it goes back to one of my earliest answers. Swinburne is preparing students for the future world of work, and the way to do that is to make sure that students are comfortable using technology and applying AI in many different circumstances. To give you a real example, every student who starts at Swinburne has access to Adobe software. An Adobe license costs someone like us $50 a month. For a student, they get a discount. It's about $20, $25 a month. But for a Swinburne student, there's no cost. Swinburne purchases that and gives every single student access to the Adobe suite of software. If you are a business student at Swinburne, you will be using Adobe software to do your assessments and your presentations. If you're a design student, you'll be using Photoshop, Dreamweaver, these types of technologies. And that really goes back to why and how Swinburne is enabling students to be successful through access to technology.
Right. So what I can conclude from your message is that not only just AI or technology students, Swinburne is focusing on every kind of students,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So that they can adapt to the changing context of the world.
Absolutely. And even, programs that you wouldn't think, arts programs, health science programs.
Okay, that's lovely to hear. So when it comes to academic grades, how do you assess them at Swinburne?
Yeah, so it would be assessed based on the requirements of the degree that a student is going into. Very broadly, we have what we call general degrees, so things like a Bachelor of Business, and then you have technical or specialist degrees like a Bachelor of Aviation and Piloting is a very highly technical degree. Generally speaking, the more technical, the harder or I shouldn't say harder, the higher the requirement, because obviously if you were flying an airplane, you would expect that the pilot has a certain level of maths and physics capability behind it. The same as if you were in an operating room at a hospital, you would hope that your doctor had a suitable skill set behind it. So everything is set at a benchmark that is reasonable for the industry and the career that students are going into. But talk to the ETG experts about the degree that you want to go into.
So what Nepali students think that academic scores are the only ones to land in a job. But I would like you to tell the students that what are the other things that that are the important ones to land a job in Australia.
Yeah, well, I think having a university degree is the first step to landing an interview and opening that door. And then to really step through that door, if I can use that analogy, and make the most of the opportunity, it's all of the extracurricular experience, all of the wraparound experience outside of the classroom that makes you interesting as a candidate to an employer. Have you done any community service? Have you given back? Have you shown that you have an ability to be empathetic, these kinds of things. There's a lot of opportunities for students to engage in many different extracurricular activities when they're studying in Australia, and I encourage all students to lean in to those opportunities. Don't sit back and wait for those opportunities to come to you, or they will pass you by. What do I mean by that? I'll give you a very practical example. When you go to class, put yourself in the best position to be noticed by your lecturer. You will be one of many students. Sit in the front row or in the first few rows. Make sure that you are, even if you are terrified, putting your hand up and trying to answer questions in front of your peers and your professor. The first time might suck. You might absolutely bomb, but after a few times, you will be the best person in the classroom that's doing that. Get yourself noticed. Be proactive.
Be visible, right?
Be visible.
So, Tom, as the whole world and all of the education providers are promoting entrepreneurship, does Swinburne promote entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have dedicated or specialized degrees that focus in this space. They go in the business stream, but also across other disciplines as well. But outside of this, we also have access to investment funds and students that are studying these types of finance or business, whatever affiliated disciplines, they have the opportunity to go into essentially a Shark Tank style competition and
Great.
access real money and invest that in whatever their pitch or their proposal is.
That's great. That's a great opportunity. So let me get something personal for you.
Ooh.
So what excites you about visiting Nepal, Tom?
The momos, of course, but no, that's a very superficial answer. I do love to eat and I love momos. That's not a lie, but I think it reminds me a lot of my younger years when I was traveling to, parts of Western China and Tibet, and I've been to Bhutan before. And I think Nepal to me is this beautiful mix of so many different cultures. And it's a pleasure to be in this very friendly, dog-loving country. And as a dog dad to 2 fur babies myself, it's something that really speaks to me on a personal level. It's a pleasure.
That's great. How many dogs do you have, by the way?
2.
I've got 3.
3 is a good number of
Yeah.
dogs. Yeah.
So, okay. So now let's proceed towards the quick fire round.
Sure.
So you need to be very quick and you need to be very sharp on these ones.
Okay.
Sharp you are definitely.
I'm
You are.
not quick and I'm not sharp.
So, Melbourne in one word.
Hometown.
That's lovely. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. Favorite place on campus?
Favorite place on campus would be Factory of the Future.
Okay, that's great. One skill every graduate should have.
Be a team player. That is so important in the world of work. It doesn't matter how much you're working by yourself or maybe you're facing a laptop or whatever every day. If you have the ability to communicate across teams and with people with different opinions, that is so valuable.
Definitely. That's a very good advice, Tom. So one advice for every Nepali student applying to Swinburne.
Apply now, of course. 2027, we're open for business and we welcome every single Nepalese student.
Definitely. So one book that you recommend?
Ooh. Life of Pi.
Like Pi, that's great. I've watched that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Read the book, then watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One myth about studying in Australia?
It's that the visas are difficult. It is definitely a regulated process and there are steps that need to be completed, but if you follow those, you will have a good chance of getting a visa.
So how was your stay in Nepal till now?
Beautiful, beautiful. I don't want to leave. I'm flying out tomorrow night and I want to stay. I want to come back with my family on holiday.
Okay, thank you so much. So Thomas, thank you so much for coming and giving us valuable insights. We really love your suggestions, your experience that you have shared with us today.
Thank you for watching.